Growth therapy.
All right. Are we ready, madame?
We're ready, honey.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You are beautiful.
Thank
I
you.
love you.
I love you too.
I'm so happy to be here. It's been so long.
Since we've seen each other in person.
Yeah. And it's also been long since we've like recorded.
It
You know what
has.
I mean, we just did an episode
Prior,
now, but
yeah.
But it's been a long time since we've like made content together. We used to always make so much content together.
So much, y'all.
It's been so much fun.
It's beautiful. I was telling Steph that I'm very proud of the growth.
Aw,
Very
and
proud.
you've been there from the beginning.
Since day one.
Literally since day one. Like you were there you were in one of the first episodes, Friends with Benefits, which I don't have up anymore because someone called me out on my fetishizing. We'll get into it, but yeah. And like
wait, you took it down?
Well, it's on private, but it's, I took it down because I was like, yeah, I'm not really proud of
Gotcha.
the way that I was speaking.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Okay.
About black men at that
Gotcha.
time. So I was like, I don't really want this up. It's
Gotcha.
cool. We can live without it, you know?
Okay.
But yeah, no, but like that was like one of the first episodes I've ever done. And you were there from like this. Then that was even before I even premiered.
I remember we went to Panini and you were like, do you want to be on my podcast? And I was like, yeah.
Like, what's a podcast?
Yeah. And to see where it is now is, bitch, you're in a studio. Wow.
Thank you.
Growth.
I'm
glad to be a part of it.
Yeah. You've been in this journey as a friend, as like just, like a support,
An impromptu co-host.
Co-host, you know what I mean? Like you showed up and shit. You were in the fucking intervention episode.
Yeah.
That was some shit. Wait, let me introduce yourself. Okay. We just jumping into like this conversation. Okay. Hi guys, it's me, Stefanie Maegan, your host of Vocal Therapy. I guess the fuck what? We have Sixelaafiercee back in the building.
Hi y'all.
The OG fan favorite, you know what I mean? You know what I'm
Literally fan favorite. If I ain't your favorite, then you ain't a fan. Sorry, other people, but sorry.
The guy that I'm like kind of talking to right now from the Bay.
Okay, I was gonna say Oakland.
His name is Chris Bay on the show.
Okay.
And I mean, we just chatting, you know what I'm saying? But he's been listening to the show for years, and I remember I asked him like when we first started talking, like, who's your like favorite like co-host? And he was like, he like couldn't pronounce your name. He's like, I think it's the sixth. Like
That's me.
That's you. But like you've been here from the beginning. You've seen the growth. And you've supported and
the growth.
I've seen the growth in you as well. Like we've grown up together.
So much. The growth in the show, the growth in the content, the growth in you as a person, as a woman.
Yeah,
you've come so far. Like I even know that my first episodes are probably ignorant as fuck, and I don't even agree with anything that I was saying back then because I've changed. Because
back then, I remember even before we recorded, I remember you said that you wouldn't care if I would say the N-word.
Oh, and I would give.
Yeah, but now
I would give 30 fucks now.
Yeah, and I told I was like, I am not gonna say that.
Yeah,
like, it's okay.
But it was like the climate was different.
Right.
Just things it was something that bothered me, but I allowed my close friends to say it.
Right.
And now that doesn't really fly because it's like it wasn't that I wasn't like. I just wasn't pro-black like I am now. I didn't know. When you know better, you do better.
Exactly.
You hold the people around you accountable. Because I grew up with like Hispanics that said it all the time.
Right.
And now,
that's the thing, they do.
Where I'm from is heavily Hispanic. It's Hispanic and it's black. And it's like now, even those people, like I have gotten into it with people on Twitter about it. Yeah. People that I went to high school with, like, don't fucking say that.
Right.
You probably said it around me in high school. We're not in high school no more.
Right. Like, do better.
Do better. Basically, if you know better, do better shit.
Yeah, which leads us to the topic of discussion for this week's episode is Black love. Oh. And you know what's crazy? I remember in that Friends with Benefits episode, you mentioned Black love. And I was like, what is that? Like, I had no idea what that was back then, because,
it's
again,
a powerful, beautiful thing.
The conversations weren't really happening. Mm-hmm. And I, do you want to explain what Black love is in your own words?
Sure.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't want to speak for Black love,
Black love is love that is in its it's hard to explain it because it's kind of like you have to experience it. I've just seen it. I've grown up around it. It's love that I really, this is my own interpretation of it. Y'all can say what y'all want.
Right.
I feel like black love is the love that comes from a black woman. I feel like it stems from the way a black woman loves everybody.
Right.
Like, I don't know if y'all have seen the Megan Thee Stallion thing. That shit resonated with me so hard because black love looks like no matter how you treat me, the love is still there. No matter how tough the struggles, the things that we go through, it's this strong bond. It's a bond.
And I think especially with the black community where you guys go through the same, obviously the same type of oppression, and like you understand each other, you stand by each other, and
it's just and the reason it's so important is because it's the most attacked form of love. Right. It's love that white fucking people hate. It's this pure form of like, because what it boils down to with racism and all of that kind of stuff is the first thing that they tried to dismantle was the black family. So that in itself shows you how strong it is. Right. When two people that look the same, have the same struggles, can come together, and this love is just so pure, and it's an unconditional, it's all forms of love wrapped into one. It's something that's just strong, and it's deep, and when it's there, it's just the truest thing ever. Like, if you see like my grandparents, look at black grandparents, that is black love. Right. The love that stands the test of time. Love that when it's easier to love another race than it is to love that black woman. That is black love. Right. Oof. That right there.
Yeah, because
it's easy. Like, and nowadays it's so much easier for a black man to go and love somebody outside of his race because that's what they want you to do. It's so much harder to love your own because they don't want you to, because us together as a unit is powerful, which is why they've tried to strip it. Yeah, yeah. And going back to like fetishizing black men, and why like it was so inappropriate for me to talk like that is because like a lot of times people fetishize the mixed babies. Ugh, and that shit bothers me. Like, so so like, but having like just black love, and to have that pure, love in its purest fucking form is what it is. Love with it's unconditional. It's like the love that God has for everyone is is literally like what black love is. It's that just no matter what, like how they say that black women protect black men at all costs, and sometimes they don't be protecting us. Black love comes from black women. Yeah, and it's like I 100% support that, and I feel like just right now your whole speech on it, like I felt it in my soul. I was like, yes. I felt a little emotional. Yeah, no, but I felt it. Like I felt like everything you just said right now like came from your fucking soul. Oh, you know what I mean? Like I feel, because I felt that. I was like, I empathize with that, and like, and that's why, and I've had an episode, interracial relationships, and I think everyone in the world knows I date black men. Like, that's just who I am attracted to, and like, love is love. We know that, you know what I mean? And I support all types of love, but I think I really experienced how, so with Morgan, for instance, Morgan, is a definition of black man in America, and I loved him for that. I loved him because of who he was and what he's gone through. Like I know that like everyone's probably like, ugh, you loved him. everyone's a little cringy. And I thank you for caring, but in reality, yeah, like when I was in love with him and I was in a relationship with him, like there was like, we connected in so many ways, but the biggest thing that was hard to connect on was the fact that I wasn't a black woman. So there was a lot of things I couldn't fully understand. And I think, and I even knew that from when I first started dating him. I remember telling him, like, you're supposed to be with a black woman. I felt it, because I felt like, yeah, I could, I know that my love is very unconditional and amazing and all that stuff. I'm not trying to downplay my love. Yeah. But the love that he needed
with someone from a black woman. And I felt, I'm not gonna lie, like at one point was intimidated by that. You know, I'm gonna own up to that, you know. And I remember one time outside the Virgil, you know, he kind of made a comment saying like, oh, you know, black women are probably going to be a little upset that I'm dating you. You know what I mean? Because it's dating outside, you know, his race. And I think his ex even made a comment like, oh, you with that white girl now with that podcast? Like, just call me a white girl. I'm not. I'm brown as fuck. We full Asian over here, okay? So, but, you know, but like if anything outside the black community is still not black.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, we were outside the Virgil, and I remember he made that comment. And I was just kind of like, yeah, I know, it sucks, whatever. And there was actually 3 black women I walked by, and I got scared, so I let go of his hand. And I don't know why I did that. Granted, I was a little buzzed.
Yeah.
But like I just remember feeling like, oh, like I could never measure up and be with the black man, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because I knew how powerful, like everything that you just said, I knew that I couldn't, because I loved Morgan so much. I knew I couldn't measure up as if I was a black woman, you know.
Gotcha.
Granted, he's toxic as fuck, and we're gonna just not talk about those factors right now.
Yeah.
But you know, but there was a bit of worry, and you know, and now like everyone knows, he obviously cheated on me, got back with his ex-girlfriend, and now they're engaged. So, did I tell you about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're engaged. So, happy for them.
Yes.
We're happy for them.
Yes.
Yes.
We are.
Yes.
You may not feel it right now, but you are happy.
No, honestly, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So I'm like, it's
that's
okay.
neither here nor there.
Yeah, but you know, she is a black woman, and like I've always felt, even though like like at one point he chose me, I was still envious.
The fact that you had that knowing in the beginning is crazy.
I knew.
And I want to commend you for that.
And I didn't understand what I was feeling.
Yeah.
But like obviously how everything played out was because I knew he needed to be with the black woman. And I could never, even though my love was unconditional and amazing, I knew that my love would be different from a black woman. Because he's the type of man, you know, that he needs that. You know, and it's unfortunate, you know, obviously our relationship was toxic for whatever reasons, but like at the end of the day, what he needed was a black woman, because it's just a different type of love and connection and, you know, safety and all that that I could never provide. I could always empathize and I could always educate myself and do better, but
it would essentially always feel like you weren't hitting a mark or a standard, and that's no way to feel when you love someone so much.
Right.
So I totally get that.
Right.
Yeah.
And it fucked with me, and I think like when, you know, I found out they got back together, it was really just like this. I felt really insecure for a minute where I had to think like, should I stop dating black men? Like I had to really consider that.
That's
you know,
deep.
Because I was like, because I want to respect.
Wow.
Like that, because I understand, you know. And someone commented on my YouTube. Shout out to her. I can't think of her name right now. But you know who you are, girl. I followed you on Instagram. But she commented on the interracial. I posted on my Instagram story. She commented on interracial relationship episode on the YouTube comments and said pretty much that. Let me read the comment shit.
The one about him fetishizing you.
Yeah. Let me
Which
read
is
it.
facts.
Let me read it, because
Yeah,
this shit was on point, and I was like, it gave me a perspective, you know, and it was almost like it kind of like, if anything, it really helped me tie shit together. So thank you for that. So she said, I just want to say, in the topic of yours and your ex's relationship, that black men in our community are notorious for fetishizing Latina and foreign women. As much as I get what he was speaking on when saying that you wouldn't understand where he's from, it doesn't make what he did any more right. He was fetishizing you as well, and he thought that you were a little foreign thing to play with. He never intended on leaving his girlfriend. As a black woman, I really feel the need to hold him accountable, because if that's the way he felt, I guarantee he knew that immediately and could have simply left you alone. Be careful and make sure you aren't fetishized as well when dealing with black men. This is a big issue in our community. Love you, Steph.
Facts.
Yeah. And that, like, whew, that was good.
I appreciate her for even.
Yo, I love her. I was like, what's your Instagram? I want to be friends.
Her delivery was so good.
Right.
And it was, and she's right. That's something that we deal with. A lot of insecurity that Black women have is because Black men fetishize the foreign. Right. There was a time where, even for me, I wanted to be foreign.
Really?
Yeah. And people think that I'm mixed, but right. I'm not. I'm black. Now I'm like, no, I'm black and I'm black. And people would be like, no. And there was a time where I was like,
what do they think you're mixed with?
Asian,
I could see in like the eyes. Maybe.
The eyes, and I have curly hair, so like when guys see my hair, they're like, "Oh my god!" Like, right. And my hair's long,
right?
And there's this misconception that Black women can't grow hair. There's a bunch of different things that like. It's so ingrained. We've talked about how, like, in the Asian community, there's things that are so ingrained that it's like it's fucking sick. With Black, it's the same way. There was a period of time where I wanted to be foreign, and I was like I used to be like, Mom, we're not nothing else.
Yeah, you want to be mixed.
Like, can I tell somebody something? And I have a Puerto Rican cousin. So at one second, I was like, oh, I'm gonna say I'm Puerto Rican because my hair's curly, like,
Yeah.
But then I was just like, nah, like I think what really started to get me was the mixed kid thing. It started to really bother me just because that one is, to me, is the sickest fetish out of all, because men will comment on these little kids and be like, oh, she's gonna be bad when she's older. That's fucking disgusting. She's a child.
Right.
Like, right. Why are you wishing that your kids looked a certain, like, right. It's a warped way of thinking, but it all boils down to just conditioning, psychological warfare,
right?
Wanting. So the concept behind wanting a foreign is that, like I said before, when they stripped the Black family, when I say they, I'm talking about the higher people, whoever those people are, the white supremacy people.
Right.
They basically wanted to paint the Black woman as not desirable.
Yeah, and I remember I have a friend, I shall not be named, and I remember she's not, this was years ago. This was like when we were like 17, 18 or something like that. We were young.
Yeah.
And, she's not Black, but she was saying like how no one likes Black women and that they're not cute and all that stuff. And I remember thinking like,
fucking lie.
I used to think like,
because we're in
look at Kylie Jenner trying to be a fucking reality, Black woman. Like,
we're the blueprint,
right?
But you think about it, and it's like, of course, you have to paint the picture that we're not, and that right. even goes with the Black community in general.
Right?
We are superior, so much so that the inferior race feels like they have to go out of y'all fucking way.
Right.
Y'all go out of your way. We literally, we're not asking for you to give us more than you. We're asking for equality when we should be asking for more.
Right.
You know? So it's just like the whole psychological thing of it is just really like disgusting, but it's trickled down so much to when my little cousin, he grew up around me.
Right.
And I'm brown as fuck. I'm Black. Like, you look at me, if I'm mixed, I look like I might got a little droplet of something else.
Yeah.
Like, it's
but you are a Black woman.
I am a Black woman.
Yeah.
Grew up around me, his mama Black. Like, everybody, all of us are Black. He gonna tell me, I was like, so, he's like, yeah, he's told me I like foreigns. He's 13 years old. Said I like foreigns. And I said, what? I was like, what? He was like, the curly hair, the light skin. I said, yeah. Okay. He's like, I was like, you don't like dark skinned girls? He's like, no. He said they're too loud and ghetto. I said, are you fucking kidding? I said, your cousin, my little sister's dark skinned. Both of my little sisters, two of my little sisters are dark skinned. And I was like, Raven's dark skinned? And he was like, yeah. And I said, so you think she's loud and ghetto? What? Like, and it's crazy because, like, I literally got on his ass. Like, don't ever let me hear you say no shit like that ever again, because it's disrespectful to your mother. It's disrespectful to your grandmother. My grandma's dark skinned.
Right.
Like, our whole
all the women in your fucking life.
Yeah. And a lot of Black men that love foreigners be the same mama's boy ass ones that love their mama. How you love how you love your mama, but you disrespecting black people. You just to even disrespect the women that are in your community. But it comes from, it's an insecurity is what it is. Right. It's them not feeling, it's what I like to call reverse Stockholm syndrome. It's like when you are trying to appease your oppressor. When black men, I believe.
Like, oh yes, I got something.
I got the prize.
I got the prize. I got something out of the rate. Like I got up the pyramid a little bit. You know what I mean?
When it's like no, because even the thing is, and I'm gonna say this: if you date outside of your race, I'm not saying it's a problem, but my issue with it is, why is it okay for every other community to be like, every other community be like, don't date outside your race?
Right.
Every other community does it, but when black people do it, we're wrong. Why?
Right. It's so true. There's so many cultures out there that are like, no, date within your race.
And the reason is because you keep your bloodline strong, because then your race does not end up diminishing. They want it to be a mixed world. They don't want black people to be a thing. They'd rather it be mixed than it be a solid black people.
Right.
But the problem with that is we're the beginning, we're the blueprint, and that's not even to say it in a cocky way. It is what it is. Civilization started in Africa.
Exactly. And even for Filipinos, the fucking OG before we got like mixed and matched with every like
y'all niggas was dark.
We were black.
And the real tea is every ethnic background has a black. Yeah. Every single one of
black version.
There's a black version of everyone. So y'all stupid as hell thinking that y'all gonna make us extinct. And that's the psychology. How insecure must one race be to think that you guys could really make it extinct? You can't. Right. Like, and that's another reason why people just need to do more research, because the more you know, when you know better, you do better, right? Like we said in the beginning. And a lot of people don't do better, but it just really sucks. And I feel like for you, what with your situation with Morgan, what is distasteful to me is you were able to identify his need for a black woman when typically men that know that they need a black woman have done so much self-work to where he wouldn't have even done that to you. Right. So it's really disheartening, because it's just like, damn, like he's woke in a sense, and to still do that to you is fucked up. So I don't fuck with him. We already know I don't fuck with him, but I really don't fuck with him, because there is a certain type of, you have to for a black man to know that he needs a black woman, you have had to unlearn and relearn. Yeah, because you grew up looking at not knowing that you yourself are a king, not knowing that the richest man on the planet was a black man, but they're not gonna tell you that. They're gonna tell you it was Bill Gates. Right. They, like, right. But you grew up knowing that. So knowing, I bet if we were to ask Morgan, does he know all that I just said? He would say, yeah. But still, why do what you did? Right. You know?
Right. Yeah. Because that's why he never really like just stopped the communication with his ex and kind of kept her there, because it was more like, let me go. Yeah. Yeah, like that chapter with her was never closed, because it was always something where he knew, like, when it comes to really settling down, it was gonna be with a black woman. And but because I'm fun and I'm a foreign thing. That actually, like the girl said in the thing, that is a thing. Me and Savannah, shout out to Savvy. What up, girl?
She has cousins. One of her cousins is he's married to a white woman. And when that happened, it was kind of like, I'm gonna keep it G. For us, it's like, damn, why'd you pick her?
Yeah, but here's the thing: every time I date black men, it's funny. I mean, every black dude that I've dated has always asked me, "Are your parents gonna care?" You know, they ask all the time,
because it's important.
It is, and then I always ask, you know, are your sisters? Are the women in your family gonna care? Because I feel like it's usually, you know, again, like for good reasoning, it's kind of like, who is this non-black person getting with a black man? Like, what is she fetishizing? Like, what is her motive right
Literally,
now?
is she fetishizing? And then I also
is she with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, if you are going to, this is to all of the non-black women that love black men. If you are going to love that black man, I don't, and we've talked about this and we'll get into it. I don't believe that love is not love when it comes to being black. It's not. We don't have that privilege.
What do you mean?
Like, you know how people are just like, love is love. Like, you can love whoever. We don't have that luxury.
Right.
We do not have that luxury. We don't. It just isn't. That's just not what it is. But if you are someone that's non-black and you are choosing to love a black man, make sure you know what you sign up for. And if not, leave that black man alone.
Yep.
Leave him the fuck alone, because there's a black woman out there that wants to love him. That's it. It is what it is. Yeah. We want, like, not because he's black, but because we know what he goes through. We know what he's gonna be faced up against. If you're not willing, and if you're white, if you're white, if you're any fucking race other than black, and you're not willing to use your privilege for that black man, leave him the fuck alone. Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
That was a soundbite right there.
Leave him alone, okay?
For real.
And because he may not know better, and I'm saying this just because, like, I have bros who don't even know better, you know? And It's like, if you're someone if you love him, like, love him, but you're not willing to, if you call yourself loving him and not willing to exercise your privilege, if you guys are getting pulled over and you're not willing to if he's driving you, you're not willing to be like, hey, officer, and step in, leave that man alone.
Right. And that was something I had to learn, because I remember this was like back in the day when I dated this dude. He's actually the man that made the theme song. He was like, he was honestly the first man that I ever dated that really, like, put me on to, like, really started the conversation on what it means to be black. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I think, honestly, I'll own up to my ignorance. A lot of, before him, I thought racism wasn't real anymore. I didn't think about that shit. That wasn't something that really crossed my mind, you know? But he was like, he really fucking sat me down and broke this shit down. And I remember he asked me, do you actually like me? Or do you just like me because I'm black? Like, are you fetishizing me? And I remember thinking, like, I would never fetishize you. You know what I mean? Like, and I just didn't understand that. And maybe I did, honestly, you know, because I just didn't know any better. I didn't understand what a black man goes through. So, and I remember, you know, that really sat with me, like, okay, that if I'm going to just be, you can't help who you're attracted to sometimes. You really can't help, you know? And so I'm like, if I'm attracted to black men and this is who I date,
you gotta do what comes with that.
I gotta understand. I gotta educate myself.
Yeah.
I gotta fight.
Yeah.
I gotta understand and try to do better and be, because what if I end up having kids with a black man? I will have black children.
That part. The real tea is, if that child has black in them, no matter what the fuck they're mixed with, they're black.
They're black.
So if you're not signed up to enlist, you know, if you're not trying to take them to go actually really be in their culture, like, for the thing for me that really bothers me is I don't like when black men, the other races out, if they're white, you could have chose any fucking other person, but somebody white, they don't want you to be black. They don't want you to be yourself.
Right.
At all. Like,
right.
They don't. And the ones that do, they want to come and bite and steal our shit and, like,
some get out shit.
Yeah, it's on that. Like, it's not like they're wanting to embrace your culture. You are then, like, leaving your family, you're leaving your community, you're leaving your own culture. So that is, and then to have kids, and then you have those kids that are walking through this world feeling that they're not black enough, not white enough, when it doesn't have to be like that. I hate those stories about mixed kids who are like,
yeah,
growing up, I felt like I didn't know if I was too white or too black. That comes down to your mother, because your mother did not help you identify what the world did not prepare you. If you're not willing to prepare that child, do not have kids with no black man. If you're not gonna take them around their black side of the family, do not Be with that. There's a responsibility that comes with it, and it's frustrating for Black women such as myself, who I am with the full shits. This is my whole life, and I'm over here like having to feel like I have to, I ain't gotta compete with nobody, but feel like I have to compete, or like y'all out here doing the most for men. And I don't want to, because like for me, love is not ownership, but like our men,
right?
You know,
right.
it's the men that are rightful, that we should be procreating with and continuing our lifelong bloodlines. And I'm not saying that it's wrong to be in an interracial couple.
Right.
My sister's in one,
right.
but even with my sister, I had the conversation with her. Your dude, my sister's boyfriend is white. Your dude, if y'all were to have, because he talking about kids and marriage and all types of shit. Okay, he also wanted to be a cop. So when it came down to it, if your son, little Jamal, I'm gonna do a nigga name, okay? If little Jamal, my sister would never name her kid Jamal.
You know, they probably like, what the fuck?
If Jamal got in trouble, and not even off the strength of himself, just because he was Black, would his dad vouch for him, or would his dad side with a cop? Are you willing to have those conversations? And a lot of Black men that choose to, because one of their cop outs is Black women are difficult.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've had Black men tell me, yeah, I don't like, I like to date outside my race. This is years ago. I don't date Black women because they're difficult. You
know what it is?
Because they know them. They know them the most. They know them better than anyone else.
A Black woman gon'
call you fucking out.
Yes, gonna convict you on your shit.
Hold
Black
you
woman
accountable.
Gonna hold you accountable. We gonna have you. Literally, I say this, and I say this about myself. Being connected to me is a blessing, and it's not because of me. It's because a part of it is because I'm a Black woman. It's ingrained in me to push you to be your best self.
Right.
Even if I'm wrong, my whole agenda is to help you to be your best self. My grandmother and my mom, all they ever wanted was for me to be my best self, even if they were wrong about it. That's just how we are.
Right.
But our delivery is not, we don't coddle, is what we don't do.
Right.
We're not going to sit here and be like, oh my God. You know, we're going to be like, nah, nigga, get your shit the fuck together. And you don't like that. But you wholeheartedly need that.
Right. Exactly.
Everybody needs it. You know, like everybody needs that person that's going to be there. But and it's not that we're loud and y'all love that shit for real.
Yep.
Like, honestly.
It's so funny because I be seeing like racist white people on my fucking TikTok comments, and then I go to their page and they're dancing to Black music.
It doesn't even.
They're making little like racist, like you're racist towards white people, and
that's fucking stupid. There's no such thing as being racist towards white people. And if you're offended, I just feel like if you are offended by any of this, you just gotta go and like tap in, go talk to Jesus, because
educate yourself a little bit, understand a little bit,
because.
But like, here's the thing: I make content for a lot of people, but I make content for POC. And I know that Black people don't really like to be considered POC.
I'm not POC. I'm
POC
Black.
and POC and Black. There we go.
I'm Black. I don't like that new one, BIPOC.
Oh yeah.
Like, stop it.
No, Black.
I'm Black.
Right.
And what's funny is when I was younger, I wanted to be called Black and not African American because I don't have a divinity with Africa.
I feel weird saying African American. It's just like, how do you know?
Yeah, I just don't. I don't feel connected to that.
Right.
I don't. I think that it's literally Black culture, not African American culture that I'm connected to. Like, I don't. I just don't. I don't.
So would you ever date outside of your race?
Date outside of my race, yes. I love experience.
Right. But do you feel like you will end up with someone?
But my husband will be a nigga.
You're like Morgan.
My husband will be a nigga. He is going to
I can only see you with the Black man. Like, like in the last episode, you said you hooked up with someone who I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm here to dibble and dabble.
Right.
And real tea.
But like, you'll be straight up with them. You're not going to pull the Morgan side. I was like, you're like Morgan. No, Morgan obviously might fuck
I've
you,
even had like white guys be like, the one thing I don't like about dating white guys is they want to be my first.
Ugh.
That
happens?
Yes.
It's like a fetishized thing?
Yeah, like, oh, it's always, have you ever dated? I don't ever ask somebody, have they ever dated? Like, I've gone on dates with this Indian guy, like with a bunch of different people.
It's
like,
okay to like try
I love to experience, but the moment that I get this fetishized shit, I'm like, I'm out this bitch. I don't want that. No. Right. But like white people, they just make it a point to be like, have you ever been with a white guy? No. Or you have, why not?
Oh, like, really?
Yeah, they're fucking creepy about it. And I don't like that.
Oh my God, that happened?
Yes, recently. Somebody was like, what, like,
am I your first white man?
Yeah, and it's like, I told him, I was like, the vibes don't be there.
Yeah, I don't connect with white men. It's okay.
But I ain't gonna lie, because y'all know Travis Kelce from the Chiefs, that is my man, okay? Now,
I think I saw you something. I think I saw a tweet where like Shia LaBeouf is fucking fine.
Yo, Shia LaBeouf is fine. But I wouldn't marry him.
Yeah. Honestly,
to be real, and I don't know if a lot of white women know this, but a lot of black men, especially now in our times that they're getting woke. So they might be with the play with you, but they're not trying to settle down with you for real.
Oh, for real.
I know a lot of them that are like that. Yeah. And but then there are the ones that are out there that are for it, but also know that those men are never going to be their truest self with you because a part of them has to die to even be able to sustain in that relationship, and that is real. That's just real. Right. And like you said with Morgan, if he, hypothetically speaking, if he were to be with you, he would be, a part of him would have to he wouldn't be able to show up as his full self.
Yeah, and that's the thing I think that he realized. Like, I think I'll give it to him though. I think I will give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he did try to see if he could fit into my life. You know, but there was just a lot of things that he just felt really uncomfortable. But then again, like, I even asked him to like come to like your little thing.
Morgan was a different breed because
because I was like, yo, like, if anything, Six's like place would be like the vibe for you. You know what I mean? But he was just like, no, she too bougie for me.
That part. I just think he's judgmental because I'm bougie, but I'm with the shits.
Right.
And if you know me, you know that.
I think he's just insecure.
I think
he just didn't know where like he could, you know, fit in my you know.
I think that real tea, he didn't really have any intentions on doing that, so he was making excuses.
On what? Just like
on like being for real with you.
Yeah.
Imagine he meet me.
Right.
He know I'm peeping game. It's not that I was bougie. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's not that I was bougie.
You'll be on his ass.
Morgan followed me on Instagram. It's not that I was bougie.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking, it's not that I was bougie, my nigga. I would have, you know that I'm close with Steph, and I would have told her because what the fuck was going on. That's what that was.
That's why he didn't want me to be friends with fucking Rose, because Rose was like, Rose was straight up like, yo, like, nah.
And it wasn't even on no race shit. It was just on some like you not being real with her.
Right, exactly.
Like you not
which really, he gave every goddamn excuse to be like it was not even on some race shit. And
with me, I would have called
especially as a
black
bold
woman.
Yes.
I would have called his ass out. You ain't even really fucking with her like that. Now that I'm thinking about it, we see what you did there. We see.
Yeah, because I was just like, why not? Well, no, it's because he knew.
He knew. It would be different if he didn't follow me. Because like he followed me on Instagram and on Twitter.
Yeah, because he was always just like so terrified of like my friends and shit like that. Like he just was like, why? I remember Jess when
did they meet?
They met because I remember it was like Jess moved into like my place, whatever.
Oh yeah.
And I remember I went upstairs and Morgan was with me and I was saying hi to her and her family as they were like moving in and stuff like that. And like that was when they first met. And Jess just looked at him like, hey, looked at him up and down.
Yeah.
Literally like was just like she was reading
impressed.
him. She was reading him like not really impressed. She was nice. She's like, hi. But she you know Jess, she don't fucking hold it in. So she like her face was like,
and if we don't say nothing, we say something.
She showed a face. Mm-hmm. And afterwards he was like, why is she looking at me like that? Like,
you know the fuck why.
Yeah.
He knew.
Yeah.
He knew exactly why. And that's the thing, like, if the men who who like actually date outside their race. I feel like, I'm not saying all, because not all black men are woke.
Right.
There's a certain enlightenment that, for me to even come to be able to articulate myself the way I am about this topic is because I've done the research, and I've really like tried to study like why all of this has happened and why, like the real root of the shit, you know? And a lot of people aren't willing to do that work. Because that work is hard, and it's exhausting work. You fucking hate and I used to be the only black girl working at the company that I worked at. So when I was going through this shit, I was over here like, you fucking white people. I was pissed, like mad, because when you really find out like
how this world was built,
how
society was built,
and then the picture that's painted.
Right.
And then when you find that out, you want to get closer. Like for me, I really am like weary about, I have white friends, but I'm weary about those white friends. Why you want to be friends with me?
Right.
Why you want to be friends with me? If I don't get good, I'm a good vibe reader. If I don't get good vibes from you, I ain't really fucking with you.
Right.
Like one of my best friends, I was with her earlier today, Taylor. She is someone who has never tried to combat me, and white people do this. They try to combat me, a black woman, on how I feel.
Right.
How you gonna tell me how I feel? Right. How you gonna tell me that what I'm saying is not right? How? Because you wrote that fucking history book? No. Like, no, I know what resonates with me, and I know what's real and what's fake. Like, reading the stuff that I've read about our history and about what they've done to make for today to look the way that it looks, doing all of that, like there's a feeling you get when you're reading that. I felt like conflicted the whole time, and a lot of black people don't want to go through that.
Right.
It's exhausting to be black, but then to have to go and unlearn the shit that they taught you, that have to go and strip yourself of the thoughts and the things.
And to also face your own history of your people.
It hurts, and it's exhausting. So a lot of men aren't gonna actually do that.
Yeah.
They're gonna cop out, and they're gonna do what's easy. And what's, like I said in the beginning, what's easy is to date outside your race. Because they don't want us to be together. They don't want us to be a unit. Because there is what's his name? J. Edgar Hoover. He was the director of the FBI, and I don't remember what year it was, but y'all can look this up. He said the greatest threat to America is the black family. The director of the FBI said that.
Yeah.
That's a telltale sign of what is happening right now.
Exactly.
They're trying to strip us. Why do you think that incarceration the incarceration rate, the law about the weed and everything, that's not built because they just don't like black people. It's because if all the fathers are in jail, then they're raising fatherless kids who don't have an identity, who aren't then dads aren't putting their sons on game about black women. They're having to learn. They're seeing their mom struggle, being a black woman struggle, and they're like, I don't want a struggling black woman. I want a thriving woman of another race.
Ooh, that hurts.
Like, oof. And even
sorry, that hit. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You know, and then even like black women are the top entrepreneurs in the U.S. have been for the past couple of years. We still are. We have to work 3 times as hard. 3 times as hard to get the same amount.
It's easier to go outside. Yeah,
it's so much easier.
I get that.
Oof.
Now I shouldn't date with it. Like I feel like I should.
I mean, like you said, there aren't.
No, I mean not everyone's different on how.
Yeah, but this is just.
I think if anything, it makes me more mindful.
Yes.
You know, like to understand.
Like I said, if you're going to do it, love that man correctly.
Right.
And hold him on his shit. Don't allow him to. It is ridiculous for you to love a black man, but allow him to disrespect black women. That's where I draw the fucking line.
Right.
Love who you love. Don't disrespect me in the meantime. Don't say you love this beautiful Asian woman because you love her, not because you hate black women. That's your fucking problem.
There we go. Literally, that was it.
Love her, but don't disrespect me because you love her.
That is it.
Don't.
That's the key.
It's like a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, like a successful interracial relationship. You know what I mean?
Don't love me because you hate
because you hate yourself.
Yes, because what it boils down to is you don't love yourself.
It's a self-hate.
You
know, yeah. Ooh. You know what? You know, I actually see this in a similar way in the Asian community as well too, especially in first gen Filipinos. You know, where our parents are immigrants and we're like the first generation out here in America. You know, and like our parents, they come to America, they really try to assimilate because it's like, this is the American dream. We got to strive for this, you know? Mm-hmm. And so they raise us to really assimilate to the American culture. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, you know, it's actually, I mean, there are a lot of Filipinos who definitely date within their community, but what's
y'all be riding for each other, to be honest.
Yeah, but
black niggas, we need to take note of Persians and fucking Filipinos. Y'all be thugging.
There's a lot, but there's actually a lot. There's a lot of Filipino women, not even Filipino men. Filipino men will. The Asian men are always kind of at the bottom of the masculinity pool, so they'll get what they can take. You know what I mean? Like they'll take what they can get. Yeah. So because they're just like, do they like me? I don't know, but you know what I mean? I know it's a problem. It's a problem, really. Yeah. Because no one ever really like. A lot of times, like Asian women are fetishized more than the Asian men. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the Asian, like Filipino girls that I know are always like, oh, I only date like white guys. There was such a common thing. I remember I used to always hear within like these group of Filipinos that I knew, was like all the girls be like, oh my God, I only date white men. I only date white men. Because we were raised
to look at them as higher.
Right.
And it's like, for what?
Yeah.
What it comes down now, realistically, you looking at them as you're idolizing these people,
right? Because you know what? Because our parents are immigrants. We come to America to live the fucking American dream, to live the white dream, and assimilate. You know, I lived in Valencia. I lived in Santa Clarita, where it's mixed but predominantly white. But like you strive to be accepted by the white people,
and black people do the same thing.
Yeah,
it's like even it boils down to the way that we like outwardly will give our well, that actually doesn't have anything to do with that's a psychological thing, something else. I was gonna say the way we outwardly wear our stuff, but we want to appease the white man for what?
Acceptance.
They want
I did it,
but they want to be. Know? But I think for black people, for me, it's like I need for y'all to love yourselves in a way that I think we all have to be put in positions. Because I was the only black girl at a all white company, the only black girl. So, and I had already gone through the self-love journey and all that. So I was like, yo, ain't nobody fucking touching me. Even if I do got to work 3 times hard, I'm 3 times ahead. I'm not 3 times as hard to do the same. Right. Like I'm that girl. But also I knew that I had already like loved myself so much. So it's like, black people, I encourage you to just learn. It's hard, but learn your history so that you love yourself, especially black men. Learn, like, if you choose to date outside your race, do it, but don't disrespect me.
Right.
Don't disrespect your mama. Don't disrespect your family. Right. Because you still got cousins, you still got aunties, you still got, just don't disrespect them. And, you know, if that's what you choose to do, cool. And all non-black women, I urge you to keep that nigga on his toes. Like, if he's going, if you are gonna love him, like, for you, I could tell you this because you're my friend. check them.
Right.
And make that a prereq. I think we all
I
need
think
to.
That is.
That's a prerequisite. Do you not date outside your race because you hate yourself? Don't say it like that, but basically because you fucking hate yourself, or because you want to experience other cultures, or like or because you actually want to get to know me, or
and not just because I'm a foreign thing, because you're trying to escape something that you hate about yourself.
Yeah, like how how much do you know about your own history?
Right. And
even I think people are going to shy away from asking those types of questions. But that if you plan on living a life with that man, your kids need to know where the fuck they come from.
Exactly.
They need to know if he grew up in the hood. They need to know what like, they need to know the history. Like, for me, I didn't really want to have kids at one point, but once I started to know about my history, I was like, I cannot leave this earth without planting seeds.
Right.
Like, the world needs children. I need to have a generation that's after me that is so in love with themselves, because there's a rapper, Killer Mike. He says that it's a disgrace to send your kids into these schools and not have them not knowing their identity before they go to school. Before kindergarten, you need to be teaching your fucking kids their own history. So then when they go into that school and they read them textbooks, they know that that's only one side of the coin. That's not the whole thing. Because I grew up thinking that was the whole thing. Right.
We all did. Like, we all did. That's what's fucked up.
And it's like, had our parents taken the time and but also then you think about it, life is set up for us to not have that time.
You can't blame them. Yeah.
So it's all a
look at you breaking a generational curse.
Listen, my kids, they're gonna go into. They're not homeschooled because the curriculum is not up to par. They need to be little geniuses.
Right.
Like they're not going to home. They're not going to school to be brainwashed and learn shit that they don't need to know. They're gonna know. They're gonna know themselves. And they're gonna know their fucking worth because they know where they come from. They're gonna know that they come from Mansa Musa, the wealthiest man on the planet.
Right.
They're gonna know that before they step in. They are gonna go to high school, in regular high school.
Right.
So when they go, they're gonna be some revered fucking. They're gonna be like, what? You can't tell me nothing. Right. And that's how every kid should be. But they would, you go into school and you only look in these books and you only see people that don't look like you, you're obviously going to feel inferior.
Right.
You're going to feel less than. You're going to feel like you're not, you're not. And then that cycle repeats, but not on my watch. Like, if you were to have a kid, it would then be my duty as your friend to put you on game. Yeah. So it's kind of like,
but it's also like I would never want to put that duty on you.
It's
as
not.
Well too,
it's not. I mean? It's not even you putting that duty. That's just me, though.
I know. Like you're just gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
But it's also like I just want to just emphasize the fact that like
it's not the black woman's job.
It's not your job.
It's not my job to educate. It's not my. It's not.
You're just gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it. But like everyone's different. Like Savannah always says this. It is not like racism is not our issue to fix.
Right.
She always says this. And at first I was like, what you mean? But then she's like, yeah, because it's actually not our problem.
It's not. It's not
our problem.
No.
But I think that when you are around people, these conversations, because me and Steph have had this conversation before.
We always talk, yeah.
Yeah. So like she knows that like as I get woker, that was not the right word. As I get more enlightened, she will become enlightened because I'm going to share this with her because I know that she likes black men.
Yeah.
And then also looking,
and I like having these conversations.
Yeah, but then also looking deeper at it, it's like, okay, if you do like are attracted to black men, what attracts you? Is it just attraction? Because that is not all that a marriage or that your partner should be. Is just attraction. Right. For me, I love a black man for everything. I love him for his inner fibers, everything about him, the masculinity, the innate like providing nature, like I can literally write down a list of all the things that are not physical about the black man that I love.
The survival mentality.
Yes, all of that. I can write all of this down. A lot of women that are in relationships, have kids with black men, probably couldn't do the same.
Nope.
That you need to be able to do that. Like there's these just exercises that can be done.
Right.
To tell if you're fetishizing or not. And there's women like Stephanie. Stephanie's somebody, she's learning from her own mistakes.
I fetishized. I did, yeah.
And to own up to it. Like and my friend Amanda, she's Compton's very own, shout out to her. She dates black men and she's like, yeah, none of that fetishizing shit. And she's like, she even tweeted the other day, she was like, it's sad because it makes me feel uncomfortable that my mother-in-law, because she's in a relationship and they're like, they want to have kids, my mother-in-law is excited about me having mixed babies. It makes her uncomfortable. She has a lot of black friends too, so she's made it a point to be what we've had the same conversations. And for me, I'm someone where as Black women, it's not your job to help these people, but it's your job to hold them accountable. You don't have to tell them what to do or how to do it, but you do have to make them. I said this in a live that I did a couple months ago. It's my job to make you uncomfortable. I'm so fucking pro-Black that you cannot sit around me.
I felt that.
You cannot sit around me on no crazy shit. You might have been able to do that before, but you can't. No, and as Black women, if we have non-Black friends, you need to come so much into yourself that you are okay with being you and saying what you don't like, saying what makes you, because it's uncomfortable to sit around non-Black people and see them talking about men and talking about our men and being like, oh my God, like his biceps look like chocolate. Like, bitch, what the fuck?
Right.
What did you just say?
Yeah.
And people talk like that. Like,
they do.
What is he he's an edible? Is that what he is? Because to me, I see somebody that is intelligent but probably doesn't know it. Somebody that can change the world but probably doesn't know it, doesn't have the resources to do so. But me, I'm a resourceful motherfucker. So if we were to be romantic, or he were to end up being my husband, I would be able to nurture that side of him versus sitting over here coddling him, letting him be whatever he thinks is letting him continue to cop out.
Right.
If you are going to be with this man, don't allow him to cop out. Don't allow him to do no fuck shit. Like, and that's what they run away from. But if you so-called call yourself an ally, call yourself a real one for the Black community, and you love Black men and you want to be with them, it's your responsibility to hold them accountable. It's your whole responsibility to make sure that they are not disrespecting, like I said before, disrespecting me. Right. Disrespecting their own families. Because a lot of them disrespect their own families right in front of y'all and y'all don't say nothing. Am I lying? I ain't lying. Like, yeah. How you gonna let that should make you uncomfortable. Yeah. It really should make you uncomfortable.
I always question when dudes are like, they don't date Black. Like, I feel like now it's like if I do date a guy who is a Black man, and they like me, obviously I'm not Black, I kind of question, like, but have you dated Black women before? I need to know. And
I'm fucking proud of you.
And I feel like if they have, or at least if they have, they're attracted, and they're then that's a good sign for me.
It's a fucking red flag if they have not.
Yeah.
And if it is a red flag.
It's a red flag. I asked. I need to know. I need to know that they have dated.
And that shows that you have the brain to even, like, it shows where your real intentions lie. Right. Especially because you have Black friends. Yep. So, like, you just,
and a lot of Black, like, friends who are women, who are very, like, who all you guys say the same things in their own little
ways.
Right. Yeah.
So, like, to be not like that and to have Black friends is kind of like but also Black women, some of us don't feel comfortable doing, because there was a point in time where I didn't feel comfortable, where I was like, but now I'm like, nah, fuck that. Listen, this is what it is. Because it's not gonna make me if I probably listened back to the episode where you took down, right, I probably would have been like, yeah, girl, I'm gonna need to take this down.
Right. Yeah.
But I didn't listen to it. So, like, but then looking back on who I used to be, and you really
we both grew.
Yeah, the growth. Once you know better, you really do better, and it's like, it's all in all, we have to hold each other accountable for everything. And if the term allies being thrown around a lot, but ally doesn't just look like you marching. It don't just look like you donate into a Black cause. That's not what it looks like. It also looks like in your relationships, just making sure that you're Black, that if you are in a relationship with a Black man, that you are
not even just with, like, even if you have colleagues who are Black, if your friends are Black, if your neighbors are Black, just having that respect.
Literally the respect.
And that understanding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that empathy.
Like, I've said it before, like,
the action of trying to do better. Because
you literally cannot be connected to me, say you love me, and not be away, like, not. none of my friends that are not black, because I mean I have a handful of them. All of them are enlightened on one point or another.
Right.
And it might be because of me. It might be because they know that like there's a responsibility being connected to me, and I encourage any black woman, if you are black and you're listening to this, you should set that precedent in your own life where it's like I won't tolerate anything less. Like I've said it, I've literally had said it to everyone. If you love me and you ain't really trying to be about the cause, you ain't trying to like, you know, in any way, shape, or form, you're not trying to educate yourself, because the smallest thing you can do is start to educate yourself. That's the smallest thing. And then also the second thing is calling out bullshit when you see it.
Right.
If you're not willing to do that, then you're somebody that doesn't need to be connected to me. And if I feel like if every black person had that in them, had that like that own self-respect, because at the end of the day, I can't allow you to disrespect other people just because you're my friend. Disrespect people that look like me because you're my friend.
Right.
Like,
right. Nope.
No.
You are held
the same
accountable.
way that I corrected my little ass cousin and tell him to put some respect on our motherfucking name, on my skin color, on your community, I'm gonna do that with my friends. Like if you like, I just have to it has to be held that way. It can't be any other kind of way. It just can't. It can't.
We're running out of time. Any last words? I feel like you had a lot of words. But, like, I felt every single one. I felt like you brought us to church again.
Listen.
You always bring us to church.
Listen. Just hold your I think my last point is, if you are non-black and because our topic is black love, and you call yourself loving a black man, make sure that love looks like exercising your privilege for that black man. Mm-hmm. If you're not willing to exercise your privilege for him, then you don't love him.
That part.
And that's real tea.
That part.
You don't love him. Because a black woman, we die by ours. We really do.
Yeah.
And y'all have seen it numerous times. Mm-hmm. We literally, from since the dawn of time, we really go hard in the paint about our men, about the brothers that I have. Like, it literally, my black guy friends, they, after a certain time point, they turn into brothers, not just friends. It's like that, you know?
Right.
So if you call yourself loving a black man, call yourself having black children, and you are not taking the time to educate them, and you're not taking the time to learn their hair texture, learning what kind of products they use. I have a friend who calls me and is like, "What do you use on your curls? Because I want my son's curls to be nice. I don't want them to be weighed down. I don't want him to look like his mom don't know what he's doing."
That's gonna be me too. I'm gonna be hello YouTube tutorials trying to figure this shit out.
Like, if you're not willing to do that work, there's work when it comes. Loving a black man is work. Loving a black man is work, okay? And if you're not really ready for that work, if you're not ready for that privilege, if you're not really ready to share that privilege with him when he can't for himself, then you don't need him. Leave him alone. That's it. That's all. Leave him alone.
I love that. Plug yourself.
At Sixelaafiercee, SIXELAA, fierce with the extra E at the end, on everything.com, Twitter. I be going off on Twitter sometimes, so you follow me. You feel me? My podcast is 3+3. It's on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud. 693 is my creative agency, so tap in. You feel me?
Tap in.
You can find me on Instagram on there. All of it is in my bio, so yeah.
Yes. And then follow me, Stefanie Maegan, or go to BrokeGirlTherapy.com. All that shit is there. I love you. That was so good. I love you too. I'm proud of you. I think you were talking about how you see me grow to be like this amazing, woman that I am. But like you also have, because just even like thinking about like the Friends with Benefits episode, how you just let me slide with that. Nah. Like the fact that you were here, like fucking being vocal and everything that you said, I let you just speak because I felt like this was like in your fucking soul.
I feel like I didn't even say all that I wanted to really say, but
it's okay. We got time. I was just sitting here kind of like, damn, I'm proud of you, because I felt you just educating yourself on who you are and your culture. I feel like helped a lot with your self-love.
Oh,
and made you a better woman.
Man.
So I'm proud of you.
Man.
Props to you.
Thank you for the time in this space.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I love you.
Honored.
You know that. Yeah, beach.
Real
All
shit, you
right.
feel me?
Bye.
Bye.
Growth therapy.